What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys stopping by to check out another video. Today's video is going to be an update walk around on the 2006 SV650. Make sure you guys stay tuned and like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Here it is, the 2006 SV650. Wanted to do my best to find a spot for you guys where it wasn't too windy. The only spot local in town is this parking garage here. Give you a little walk around, and then I'll go into what all is on this thing. All right, you guys, make sure you stick around to the end because the laundry list of items that went into this SV650 restoration is pretty extensive. So if you bear with me, let's start from the top and go through everything here. First thing I'm going to start out with is the exhaust pipe, because this thing is what gave me the biggest issue over the winter. When removing it, Suzuki installs stainless steel head bolts on the front cylinder for some reason, but not on the rear cylinder. So they put regular steel bolts in the rear cylinder. What ends up happening is that with these stock front fenders, all of the road debris will get pelted into that front cylinder head, and over the years those bolts rust. So what ended up happening is that those bolts going into the cylinder head on the exhaust got seized up. They had to be drilled out, retapped, and then put a time cert in. While all that was going on, I did some bluing on the pipe, which at the time I didn't know you're supposed to polish it really good before you blue it, otherwise you get this weird camouflage effect. But it didn't turn out too terribly bad. Went ahead and changed out all the radiator hoses. The Samco kit only comes with a few hoses. The rest you have to replace with the stock ones, so no big deal. These turn signals came off of the 890 actually, but they fit the SV really well. As you can see, they look kind of stock, giving it a little bit of an upgrade. Rather than being the factory square block ones, these look much better. In relation to that issue, as you saw, I didn't want to forget, I put the Puig fender extender. Went ahead and upgraded the brake lines. They don't have hardware with the kit to mount it to the forks, so you kind of just zip tie it out of the way. Went ahead and did new pads, front and rear, new wheel bearings. The whole bike actually got wheel bearings all the way around. Did the front wheel bearings on the front wheel, the rear wheel bearings, swing arm bearings, shock linkage bearings, steering head bearings. The bike did come with the seat cowl, which was pretty nice. I had to do some like weird modifications. I'm not sure how these things came from the factory necessarily, but I have no idea what number owner of the bike I am, so I had to basically shim it. Wanted to get it in the light. I had to shim it so that it would stay sturdy and not make any noise going down the road, and put some like rubber adhesive there so it didn't make any noise. RNG still makes a tail tidy kit, and then I had the Cyclops LED lights hanging around from the 890, wired those up so they look really nice. I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. Just turn the hazards on. You may not be able to see it very well, but they're scrolling LEDs. I did manage to find online there are companies that still make the flasher relays, which is located right under the seat. It's just a plug and play, goes right on. I have no idea what pipe this is, by the way. If any of you guys are curious, this is what came with the bike when I got it. It's not branded other than that little marking right there. So if anybody knows what that means, let me know in the comments down below. Would appreciate it. I did manage to find some tech spec grip pads, left and right, and then this is just a Puig carbon tank pad there. I had to clean out the inside of the tank, by the way. Didn't want to forget about that. The inside of the tank was pretty messy. While I did that, I had to get a new fuel pump, put the Vertex tank cap in there. As you can see, new front and rear tires. Let's see what else. The bars, obviously, I'll get to that in a second. The Shogun frame sliders. Went ahead and modified the cover for the front sprocket. Stock gearing, by the way. I didn't change the gearing, just went with steel sprockets, front and rear, with a gold chain. Turned out really nice. Some Shogun swing arm spools. I went ahead and, when disassembling everything, like made sure to get plenty of grease and Loctite on stuff. I had to do a new shifter pad. So a weird issue that came about when I was doing the steering head bearing kit is that the new kit comes with tapered steering head bearings, and if you follow Suzuki's manual on how to get your steering head play, it's incorrect because these new bearings roll so much easier, and I actually had to back the nuts off quite a bit and had to disassemble and reassemble the front end at least 4 times to get it right because the steering was really off, it was really tight. Had to reroute some of the cables with the Renthal bars as well. It's not necessarily the most perfect, but it was the only thing that I could come up with without having to replace the cables altogether. Oxford heated grips, I believe they're the CRG mirrors. So I was able to mount up the Oxford controller here to the crossbar on the Renthal bars. Went ahead and did the ASV levers, nice quad lock there. Managed to get the black levers with the black dial on that. Trying to think what else here. Maybe I've gone over everything, it's just that the process to get all of this done was extremely lengthy. All of the polishing that went into the exhaust and all the bolts and cleaning up the threads on the swing arm axle, the front and rear wheels, those axles, just everything. So as you can imagine, having the tank off and going through all of this stuff, I did go ahead and clean out the entire air box, put new spark plugs in, made sure to gap them properly, went with the NGK Iridiums, and then a K&N air filter. That way she is running good. Engine ice coolant. I have not touched the fork and the shock yet. I don't necessarily know if that's something that I want to do, mainly because of the age of this bike, along with what they're worth. Wasn't too sure as to how much money I would want to have tied up into it, as you can imagine. But I'll go ahead and start her up real quick, give you guys a little sound check. Suzuki's got you clutching in to start. Alright guys, thanks again for sticking around. If you made it to the end, really appreciate it. Make sure you guys leave your comments down below. Like and subscribe. This build has been a very lengthy one for me indeed, and it's kind of one of those rare bikes that not many people do anything with, which is why it was so special to me. So if you guys have any other ideas, or if you want to just say something about it, like I said, leave a comment down below. And until next time, we'll see you later.